Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dan. As ever, I am the IT Geek. Welcome back to another SC100 Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect exam topic series. We are finished with topic one now. So we covered sort of a lot of the introduction sort of areas within the SC100 exam. So we covered a lot of zero trust and best practices around zero trust. So now we are going to start off with the second topic within the structure. And again, go to the intro if you want to see a breakdown of what we're doing. There's an intro video as well. So without further ado, let's get started with this episode. So this is the SC100 Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect exam series, as I mentioned, and this episode is topic 2, part 1. So this episode is around, the topic 2 is around designing solutions that align with CAF and WAF, which is the Cloud Adoption Framework for CAF, and then the Well-Architected Framework for WAF. So in this particular episode, which is topic 2, part 1 of that, I'm going to talk about defining a security strategy. Then I'm going to do a bit of an introduction to the CAF, Cloud Adoption Framework, and then talk about the secure methodology. Then we'll go into the demo, go into the Defender console, and have a look at what features are in there that allow us to design or help us with our sort of design decisions. Let's talk about defining a strategy. So there's 3 different aspects really when you talk about defining a security strategy. First of all, you've got to modernize your security strategy, especially with sort of, on-premises. A lot of companies and organizations all have a on-premises sort of background, and their infrastructure resides on there. So a lot of their policies and strategy are, unless you're a startup and you've gone cloud native, it's very rare that you're going to have a sort of cloud native environment to start with. So the first thing is you need to modernize that security strategy. So your security teams really need to work on that. Look at the strategies, the architectures and the existing technologies, and then start to adopt cloud and operate this over time. You then need to monitor and protect at cloud scale as well. What this means is look at your Microsoft Identity Platform and allow this to help you incorporate sort of modern authentication and authorization mechanisms into your applications as well. So you look at the application stack. Then we can use things like Microsoft Sentinel to provide sort of cloud native security analytics as well and threat intelligence across that organization. What we'll do is, in a later demo in this series, we'll look at Sentinel with a bit more deeper dive. And then finally, if you're looking at security of the cloud and from the cloud, so security of the cloud is securing those cloud resources, obviously, but looking at security from the cloud, this is actually using the cloud to transform that security. So what services can you use and what strategy can you use from the cloud to help transform it? So let's do a bit of an introduction to the Cloud Adoption Framework, or CAF now. So this is a bit of an overview of that framework. So we have the Cloud Adoption Framework consists of 9 main activities, and these are called methodologies. Each of those methodologies is a process or what you can call a stage. And this can allow organizations to navigate in that sort of journey when they're adopting cloud. The methodologies are pulled together in a sort of life cycle. And this provides an ordering of the different activities, and this can allow you to achieve adoption as quickly and efficiently as possible as well. So here are the 9 methodologies. So we've got strategy. So this is, as we just mentioned, this is defining a business justifications and the expected adoption outcomes. So I'll do these in no real order. We'll go top to bottom and across. So we've got strategy, then we've got migrate. Actually, no, they are in order. My apologies. So it'll be strategy, plans. We'll go from top to right and all the way down. So strategy to start with, then we've got plan. So once you've got your strategy and your business justifications, you then need to align actionable adoption plans to business outcomes. We then got, once you've done that planning, it's time to be ready. So time to prepare your cloud environment for those planned changes. And once you've got that strategy, the plan, and you've actually prepared your cloud environment, you then need to do the migration aspect. So this is modernizing existing workloads by moving them into cloud. But once they're into cloud, the methodology of innovate kicks in. So deploy new cloud native or hybrid solutions. We need to make sure that we follow that secure methodology as well. So improve security over time. This is not just like a point in time concept, ongoing concept, which you need to keep on improving. Then we have managing that bottom left. So this methodology is around managing operations for cloud and hybrid solutions. Then the penultimate methodology is govern, so govern your environment and your workloads. And finally, organize, align the teams and the roles that support your organization's cloud adoption efforts. So it's not just about services, it's about people as well. Having, not having round pegs in square holes, having round pegs in round holes, for example. So we mentioned the life cycle in the previous slide. Let's talk a little bit about that cloud adoption framework life cycle. So we start off with defining that strategy. So this is understanding the motives, the business outcomes, the business justifications as mentioned, and prioritizing your projects as well. That life cycle, the second stage of that life cycle is then into the plan phase, in the plan methodology. So this is looking at digital estate, the initial organizational alignment, skills readiness plan as well, and that sort of a cloud adoption plan. What does that look like? Well, then in the third part of the life cycle, the methodology, we go to ready. So this is the operating model, landing zone concepts, designing area guidance, and implementation options as well. The fourth stage of that life cycle for the CAF is the adopt, which we saw in the methodologies. This is the migrate, modernize, and innovate as well. As we go to that bottom line, we need to look at securing, so risk insights, business resilience, and asset protection as well. And then we've got manage, which is looking at business commitments, operation baseline, operation maturity. And finally, govern, which is business risks, policy and compliance, and governance maturity. So these all align with that life cycle. 3, 2, 1. So let's look at the security review. So the Cloud Options Security Review, which is a CASR. So as you can see in the middle, we have this sort of business alignment, security disciplines. The business alignment includes sort of risk insights, looking at the security integration and those operational resilience as well. Underneath that, we have sort of 5 security disciplines. So access control, and we spoke about in topic 1 around zero trust and establishing that zero trust access model. We then have security operations. So this is around detecting, responding, and recovering from attacks. And a lot of the stuff we're looking at in the demos around Defender for the Cloud and Defender 365 or XDR, sorry, all fits into that. Asset protection as well. So making sure our assets are all protected and the data is also protected. So a bit of purview there. Security governance, so continuously identifying and measuring and managing security posture. And again, like I said, keeping security up to date is not just a point in time thing. It happens gradually over the course of time, over the whole life cycle. And finally, innovation of security. So making sure you integrate security into your DevSecOps processes, align security and development as well. So that's within that sort of secure box in the middle. But then on the outside, we have, like I said, business alignment. So you have to establish cross-org processes to scale that cloud security for your business. And again, making sure those security disciplines are in line as well, implementing proven security processes built on sort of modern cloud-based security tools. And finally, that cloud security team, which oversees both business alignment and security disciplines. Making sure you establish that team with the correct expertise and experience for your security and your cloud. And this can be members of a security team, cloud center of excellence, like a CCOE, cloud operations, IT operations, and many other teams as well. And that's the end of this, the theoretical part of this episode. So we're going to jump back into the XDR, Defender for XDR portal now, and continue looking at some of the features and services we can use to help with our sort of design of our architecture, sort of within like sort of cybersecurity. So here we are in the Microsoft Defender portal, and as I've said, we're doing for the demos. We're just going to work through some of the bits, some of the sort of features within Microsoft Defender for Cloud, Purview, and Sentinel, just to look at some of the services and features that are going to help you design and implement that sort of security, and hopefully help you with your SE 100 architecture exam as well. So I think we looked at incidents and alerts last time. And obviously, there's this sort of advanced hunting, and I need to refresh my page for some reason. There's advanced hunting and stuff like that. I actually want to specifically look at threat intelligence, because I think the threat analytics is a really good way of seeing sort of the threats and attacks that you can maybe get within your environment and how best to protect against those. So this is the threat analytics within Microsoft Defender. And these are going to give you all the reports. So we can see here sort of the latest sort of threats. We've got a vulnerability there. We'll look into some of these in a bit more detail shortly. It tells you about high impact threats, the technique profile, the WannaCrypt, Bad Rabbit, obviously we've not had incidents like this, which is really good. And then the high exposure threats, which is the vulnerability profile, the different vulnerability profiles. There's one for desktop Windows. And again, it tells you sort of the scores here. So red is obviously active alert, green is resolved, and grey is no alerts. Whereas here, anything that's kind of dark red, which the top one is straight away, which is 74. So what I'll do is look at these threats here. So this CV 2024 dash 340. So if we just look at from here, this is the threat exposure level. This 63, which is medium. At the moment, it doesn't show that any misconfigured device. Vulnerable devices is 2, and report type vulnerability. So let's actually click on this and look at a bit more detail. So this is giving us an overview of this vulnerability and explaining where the threat is within our environment. So it says it's a security feature bypass vulnerability affecting Microsoft 365 and Office apps. So the threat actor can send a crafted Microsoft Office file to the target user, which then opens exploits. So here we see an overview. We can actually see an analyst report here. So this is all from Microsoft. This is Microsoft helping us, giving us an analyst report. It tells us any related incidents, which we don't have any. It tells us the impacted assets. So again, at the moment we don't have any. What endpoint exposure is there? So it's two devices are exposed currently. So Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows Server 2016, 2019, 2012. So I've got one Windows 10 device exposed. I've got one 2019. That's going to be my domain control probably. And I've only got 2 virtual machines in my environment, so both of them are vulnerable to this. And then the recommended actions. This is the most important because it tells you what you can actually recommend to mitigate this. And at the moment, it's got nothing. But it's saying for a broader assessment, go to your security score. We are going to look at security score in a later sort of demo. But again, this threat analytics just allows you to go down sort of, these aren't threats that have necessarily hit your, but it just, you are vulnerable to them, so you could potentially get hit by them. So if we look at, again, just activity profile, start Blizzard. So this is running from March 2024, a Russian state-sponsored threat attack actor, that Microsoft tracks is called Star Blizzard. Was observed continuing their long-standing campaign to compromise email accounts used by members of think tanks in the United States. So again, this is a phishing attack. And these all this information is from Microsoft. All this threat analysis is from them. This is not necessarily something that's hit you or you've been attacked by. You're just giving you the information so you can protect yourselves against it. And again, this is giving us this one has given us loads of recommendations. So we can actually enable network protection, Microsoft Entra ID, identity protection, create safe link policy. So again, as you can see, some of these are already completed, but 2 of those I need to address. So generally, threat analytics, really good way of seeing how your environment is vulnerable from threats, and then you can obviously put the fixes in place to actually sort out. So I wanted to have a quick look at the threat protection within Microsoft Defender for this demo. So just keep it small. Obviously, I want to keep these episodes as small as I can, so you can. The main bit is the theory really with the SE100 because it's a lot about designing and that sort of thing in case studies. So there's loads of useful links in the description where there's a link to the Measure Up practice exam, so you can invest in that. There's a discount with it. There's also a link to the GitHub Labs link where you can actually look at the case studies and work through those if you want. And obviously the Microsoft Learn stuff as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're going to find this useful. And obviously, if my content has helped you pass, and by the end of this series, if you use my content and you pass, please do let me know. I'm always so grateful and happy to hear that I've helped people. So I appreciate the support as well. And I kind of hit that 10k. I was aiming for the end of the year for 10k. I might have been aiming for 20 now, but yeah, I hit that, which is really I'm so happy about. And I think the Azure Stack Hub. The series I did was very popular. That's helped me kind of grow my channel. So thank you very much for everyone's support. Keep on watching. We're going to continue the SE100 series in the upcoming weeks. So thank you for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.